Discover the tree of life and take back your immortality. Everlasting Life, Lesson 1. Tree of Life is also known biblically as the everlasting life. Tree of Life and Tree of Knowledge are confusingly mixed up by believers today. Many believe that the Tree of Knowledge is toxic. This tree killed Adam and Eve and continue to kill all descendants of Adam. You and me are included here. Death currently do not seem to have any exceptions. It will continue to kill until it wipes out all of mankind from the surface of the earth. In this lesson, we will try to establish which tree that causes Adam and Eve to perish. And by doing so, we will appreciate this truth is important for us to know before we can rediscover the tree of life. Yes, we will be able to discover tree of life again in our lifetime. Hello. My name is Michael So. Welcome to www.immortals.today. It is here, where we encourage immortals to hide no more. I pray that you will enjoy new revelation that will set you free from the sting of death. In this presentation, you will be able to understand what truly causes Adam and Eve to be killed. Upon knowing this truth, you will be ready to start locating the tree of life. Let us begin by drawing the tree of knowledge, and start to tag it with questions that we hope to address. Do you know which tree that killed Adam and Eve? Was it the tree of life? Or the tree of knowledge? Which tree that killed both Adam and Eve, and continued to kill all their descendants? With all the key questions laid down, we now confront the tree of life. We need to see how these questions that we just raised relate to the tree of knowledge. And then consider if tree of life is totally absolved of all responsibility from the death of Adam and Eve. Like any good investigator, we need to go to the crime scene, and the crime scene for our case is the Garden of Eden. We need to take down notes what happened and referencing them to the relevant Bible verses. Our first primary findings is that the tree of knowledge and tree of life are both available in Garden of Eden. We reference this to Genesis 1:29-30. Our second finding, we have God forbidding Adam and Eve from eating the tree of knowledge. And we reference this to Genesis 2:16-17. Our third finding, we noted that the animals, wild and tame, birds and animals that creep, can only eat grass and leafy plants, for food which are called herbs. This is found in Genesis 1:30. I will now try to attempt to lay these three findings with the Garden of Eden side by side to see a hidden revelation. I will first draw the birds. And I want to draw your attention that the birds did not eat from the tree of life, or tree of knowledge. They only took the grass, and lefty plants called herbs. They are not given to eat the fruits from the trees. Likewise the animals, the wild and the tame including those that creep on the ground, also ate grass and lefty plants that are herbs. And they too, are not given to eat the fruits from the trees. By now you would be able to see the contrast between the animals, birds and creeping creatures found in Genesis 1:29 with Adam in Genesis 1:30. Adam can take the fruits from the trees which the animals, birds and creeping creatures cannot. Thus it is clear that from day one in the Garden of Eden, animals are not immortals. They die because they are not given to eat from the tree of life, which we know from Genesis 3:22. Lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. This resolved the question whether Adam knows the meaning of death, when God told him that he will surely die if he eat from the tree of knowledge. Without seeing the animals die in front of him, he would never have understood what death is all about. It is also important to note that the commandment not to eat from the tree of knowledge was given directly to Adam. And it was before Eve was created. Adam is the head of the Garden of Eden. He is king in the Garden of Eden. He is to the man in charge and not Eve. Before we go into the implications, let's add on two more findings to the list of biblical facts supported by Bible verses reference. The fourth finding would be the fact that Adam and Eve are both given to eat from all the grains, herbs and fruits from trees. Genesis 1:29. But Adam was told not to eat from tree of knowledge. And we can reference this to Genesis 2:17. The final finding is about the goodness of God. We have both tree of life and tree of knowledge recorded in Genesis 1:31 are good. Yes, God saw everything that He had made and it was very good. What is good could not be poisons. If it is poisons, God will not call it good. Tree of knowledge made Adam and Eve like God. We know this from Genesis 3:22. To be like God sounds very similar to what happened to Lucifer. Lucifer wanted to be like God. We find this from Isaiah 14:13-14. He failed to and got kicked out from heaven. He is using the same game plan to get Adam and Eve to be kicked out by trying to be like God. Indeed, they are like God when they ate from the tree of knowledge. They know what is right and what is wrong. And they cannot die like God by eating from the tree of life. What we can conclude from all these evidence provided from the Bible. 1. Animals die because they are not given to eat from the fruit from tree of life. 2. Tree of life gives life immortality. 3. Tree of knowledge is good. Is not poisonous. And did not poison Adam and Eve. 4. Adam and Eve died because they are deprived from eating tree of life. 5. Adam and Eve committed disobedience, sin, trespassing or iniquity by eating from the tree of knowledge. Hope all these are very clear to you. These are very important elements that will help us to locate tree of life. Before we close off, let's revisit the core questions that we wanted answers from our investigation. We wanted to know which tree that killed Adam and Eve. We wanted to know if the killing will continue further. If the answer is no, it gives us hope that it can be stopped. My conclusion is that neither tree caused the death of Adam and Eve. But the absence of tree of life causes Adam and whole of mankind to die. Adam and Eve were chased out from the Garden of Eden. And this has caused them to lose their immortality. According to Romans 5:17, Adam's offense here means Adam's sin, trespasses or iniquity, has caused him, and all after him to die. They all died because they had no access to the tree of life. No matter what we do, it will not make any difference if we cannot find the tree of life and eat from it. We see this clearly in all the animals and birds that are not given to eat from the tree of life. They all died. And Adam's offense made him to join them. He joined them when he was removed from the Garden of Eden. God placed swirling sword and cherubims to keep Adam from re-entering the Garden of Eden. Adam was no longer able to eat from the tree of life. That caused him to die, and it also allowed death to reign. Death will continue to reign if we fail to find the tree of life. Hope this video has been helpful to you. And if does, please share with your loved ones and get them on board to achieve their own immortality in Christ. I will see you soon, in our next lesson, where we will further explore with Bible verses, how the absence of tree of life caused so many to lose their life unnecessary. And learn how this revelation relates to Revelation 10:10, sweet and bitter experience that was felt by John the Apostle. God bless you. Be immortal for the glory of Christ.